Petrosella here, and in 2022, there's three wing T concepts that Tubby and Ted ran in the 90s that are now coming to the forefront, really in triple option football. And I will tell you this, one of my best friends had a conversation with, let's just say it was a coach at one of the three academies that basically got an upgrade and got a better job, and said this after he left one of the three academies. And his response was, the triple option offense is becoming more and more like a wing T offense. And he said this to one of my best friends within the last few months. And the data has supported this. There's three concepts right now that are wing T concepts that have been run since the 90s, two of which that really have been run since probably the 50s, but we're going to get to it right now. So those of you who love the wing T and you want affirmation and not information, or you want a little bit of information but you really want affirmation, this video is for you. Okay, the first thing is the trap. The trap right now, Army and Air Force are averaging 7 plays per game of trap. That's a lot of trap. That's the most trap they've ever run. And I've said this in videos over the last couple of years. Every year they run a little bit more and more trap. Matter of fact, it's gotten to the point where Air Force started running a triple option with an influence to make it look like trap. So, and Navy does something somewhat similar, but different topic for another time. The trap is the first thing, and the trap has become the short trap, what Paul Johnson referred to as 30-31, which is basically a trap from a 2 technique out. So here against a 50, it doesn't matter, but basically the trap is number one. So now it's not necessarily off the buck sweep, but nevertheless, it's the same principle of trap. Number 2 is the down. And the down run more and more by all three academies. I mean, Navy ran a ton of it in their win against East Carolina. Army and Air Force are running more of it than they have in the past. The down is a great play to run because it gets the ball between number 1 and number 2. The trap gets the ball inside of number 1. The down gets the ball between number 1 and number 2. Paul Johnson referred to this as 44 and 45 would be on the left. But the down is down kick. The A-back lines up wider, and he walls off the mic. Gets outside of number 2, walls off the mic. That's the down. That's the second wing T play. The third wing T play is the rocket. Now, Army is running more jet, which is another wing T concept, along with Kennesaw. They run more jet. Air Force is running a ton of rocket, and they're even running it out of empty, which is definitely not wing T-ish, but the concept itself is a wing T concept. I first learned the rocket toss in the late 90s, and then I learned more about it when Chuck Clausing, who was a major wing T guy, who was there when Paul Brown invented the wing T in 1950 in Cleveland. The rocket is a wing T concept where you pin and pull and you toss the ball wide and you run to the sideline and to the end zone. But the rocket's the third wing T concept. It's been run a lot by Air Force this year, not as much by Army, Navy. Navy ran it a little bit in their win against ECU. Army has really not run it. They're trying to run jet, which is another wing T concept. So the wing T is certainly making a comeback. And like I said, there was a Division I coach. One of my best friends spoke with him recently, and he got a better job than the academy that he was at. And he said to one of my best friends, he said, the offense is becoming more and more of a wing T offense every year. So for those of you who love the wing T, my hat's off to you. That's great. Hey, whatever it takes to win. But certainly the trap, the down, and the rocket are definitely being run among the academies. Army and Air Force are running a lot of trap. The down is being run by all three, and the rocket is really being run by Air Force. A little bit with Navy. Army is starting to run more jet. So that's the state of the offense in relation to the wing T. Coaches, you want to win more games in 2022, 2023, you give me a call. My number's on the thumbnail of this video. So is my website, and we'll talk soon.